Comedian Whitney Cummings is alleging that her Donald Trump joke, delivered during the prestigious Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, has been edited out of the version now streaming on Netflix. And according to Cummings, the reason she was given raised serious questions about pressure, fear, and the possibility of legal action. The joke was delivered on June 28th, when Cummings took the stage at the Kennedy Center to honor comedian and television host Bill Maher, who was receiving the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. As she wrapped up her set, Cummings took aim at Donald Trump with a joke referencing his past association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. According to Deadline, Cummings told the audience, "I actually heard Trump may come tonight, but he couldn't make it. He got caught in sex traffic." The joke landed in the room. It was also quickly reported by publications including People and The Daily Beast, meaning it was already circulating publicly. But according to Cummings, that wasn't the end of the story. Speaking on her Good For You podcast, Cummings revealed she was later informed that the joke would be removed from the official broadcast of the event, which began streaming on Netflix. She recalled being told simply, "We would like to cut it out." Cummings did not directly accuse anyone of ordering the edit. Instead, she said she believed Kennedy Center staff were caught in an impossible situation. According to Cummings, they don't want to silence anyone. It is true that their boss is Donald Trump, so they did their job. She admitted she struggled with the decision. Calling it a tricky conundrum, Cummings said she wasn't sure whether agreeing to the edit was the right choice. She claimed staff made it clear they feared losing their jobs if the joke remained. According to Cummings, they said they would lose their jobs. She also pointed out what she saw as the biggest contradiction. The joke, she said, had already escaped the room. It had already been reported by People and The Daily Beast. As Cummings put it, it was already out there. But despite that, she says she was told, "We need to cut it from the broadcast." Then came the warning that caught her attention. According to Cummings, when she argued the joke was already public, she was warned that Donald Trump will sue you. Cummings said she wasn't convinced. "I don't buy it, number one. Number two, he might," she joked. She argued the Mark Twain Prize should be one place where comedians are free to criticize politicians without censorship. In her words, it's the only time you shouldn't get censored, because it is about comedians using humor to criticize our elected officials. Netflix, however, says the decision wasn't theirs. In a statement provided to Puck, the streaming giant said, "While it's our preference not to cut jokes from anyone's set, the Kennedy Center has the contractual right to do so." Cummings said she wanted to fight to keep the joke in the show, but she also said she didn't want Kennedy Center employees paying the price. According to the comedian, if the only issue had been Trump suing her personally, she believed she would have won in court. She even joked about suing Trump herself for the emotional distress of having to hold back during a comedy event. Cummings quipped that performing at the Kennedy Center, where she described Trump as the boss, without making fun of him, was one of the hardest things a comedian could be asked to do. She sarcastically praised staff for protecting her boss from the wrath of a comedian mom, before adding, "I can't believe I had the audacity to ruin his pristine name." Cummings even joked she was warned Trump could sue her someday if he got bored out of his mind. She also claimed temporary staff laughed at the joke, while Kennedy Center employees chose to protect the institution. Trump has repeatedly denied any involvement in Epstein's crimes, though his past friendship with Epstein remains under scrutiny. The controversy comes as Bill Maher recently claimed Trump felt betrayed after their White House dinner, insisting there was never any political deal.
Can a single dinner at the White House end years of political hostility? Bill Maher thought it was worth trying. Donald Trump apparently didn't. Now, months after their headline-making meeting, Maher says the U.S. president feels betrayed, while Trump has once again turned up the heat. But that's not all. Maher has also made a surprising political confession that nobody saw coming. Here's everything that happened. Bill Maher is once again making headlines over his relationship with Donald Trump. During an interview on ABC's This Week, the comedian opened up about his ongoing public feud with the U.S. president months after their widely discussed private dinner at the White House in 2025. The conversation came after Maher accepted the prestigious Mark Twain Prize for American Humor at the Kennedy Center, an event that carried its own controversy because Trump now serves as the institution's chairman. Before the ceremony, reports claimed the Trump administration had tried to prevent Maher from receiving the honor. Despite that, the award went ahead, and Maher didn't hold back while speaking about the president. Maher revealed that he never expected the White House dinner to magically erase years of disagreements. Speaking earlier on his Club Random podcast, he had joked, "I love that, he takes the game seriously. Like, no, I'm going to block this guy. I respect the move, but I know that on June 28th, it's going to happen. We're going to be at the Kennedy Center, and I couldn't be more appreciative, honestly." The comedian made it clear that he appreciated receiving the award despite political tensions. But once the ceremony was over, the relationship between the two men appeared to deteriorate yet again. During the interview, ABC anchor Jonathan Karl pointed out that Maher had previously faced criticism from many of his own supporters simply for agreeing to meet Trump at the White House. Despite the backlash, Maher insisted he had absolutely no regrets. He said, "I reported honestly that it wasn't a terrible experience at all from a guy who has done some terrible things." Maher argued that meeting someone you strongly disagree with should never be viewed as surrender. Instead, he believes conversations are more productive than constant shouting from opposite sides. That philosophy, however, appears to have done little to soften Trump's attitude toward him. According to Maher, Trump's attacks actually became more aggressive after the White House dinner. When Jonathan Karl suggested Trump seemed harsher following their meeting, Maher responded with a striking explanation. Yes, because now he feels betrayed, which is silly because there was never a deal. It was only set up as, instead of shouting at each other, talk to each other. Maher then expanded on that point, saying, "He was just mad at me because I went to his house for dinner with no guarantee that I would leave. Guarantee? It was never in the cards that I was ever going to come over to his side. It's better to just talk and go through this." For Maher, the dinner was never about changing political loyalties. Just when it seemed this story couldn't get any more surprising, Maher made another headline-grabbing admission. Although he has spent years criticizing Donald Trump and the MAGA movement, the comedian admitted he could imagine himself voting for a Republican in the future under specific circumstances. Speaking candidly, Maher said he could consider supporting Vice President J.D. Vance in the 2028 election if the Democratic nominee is backed by the Democratic Socialists of America, or DSA. He explained that his political priorities have shifted, saying, "My vote is in play because it can't be Trump running, so I'm not living in communist America." That one sentence immediately sparked fresh debate across social media, with supporters and critics interpreting it in very different ways. Some viewed it as a dramatic shift to the political right. Others argued Maher was simply expressing frustration with the current direction of progressive politics rather than embracing the Republican Party. Despite all the public drama, Maher insisted there was never any hidden understanding between him and Trump. According to the comedian, many people wrongly assumed that accepting the White House invitation meant he was preparing to soften his criticism of the president. Maher says that assumption was completely false. From his perspective, dialogue should never be mistaken for agreement. He believes talking to political opponents is healthier than refusing to engage with them altogether. But if Maher's version is accurate, Trump expected something very different from that dinner. The comedian now believes the president interpreted the meeting as the beginning of a political shift, and when that never happened, the relationship quickly returned to open hostility. That brings us to the biggest question surrounding this entire story. Did Trump genuinely expect Maher to become less critical after sharing a private dinner, or is Maher simply reading too much into the situation? Let us know in the comments below.